Imagine there are two planet Earths, and each of them is confronted by the coronavirus. The first is our world, our planet, and we respond in exactly the way we have. We deploy our science and the understanding of infectious disease that it gives us. We quarantine, we isolate, we socially distance, we scramble for testing protocols, we seek cures and vaccines, we deploy all of our medical technology to treat the infected. We stop going to work, we stop going out to public places, we shut down large swaths of the economy. These are the things that our scientifically sophisticated planet has chosen to do. Earth number 2 is just like us, but instead of turning to science, Earth number 2 turns to mysticism, or you might say spirituality. Everyone on Earth number 2 gathers together in praise to Jesus or Muhammad or the Buddha or the volcano or the sun or whatever god they can for deliverance from this plague. Offerings are made, penance is performed, goats are sacrificed. Unknowingly, in their congregating, the people of Earth number 2 actually accelerate the spread of the disease. The question is, which Earth is right? Which Earth pursued the correct path? Our reflex answer, of course, is that Earth number 1 is right. In our minds and in the 21st century way of thinking that we all share, the question itself is absurd, even ridiculous. But consider what it means to be right. How do we measure that? What exactly is it that we are either seeking to maximize or minimize? Most of us, if we thought about it, would say that the answer is something like, we seek to maximize aggregate human well-being over time. So then if that's the measure, how do we know that Earth number 1 is actually right? We are pursuing a path because we think science will deliver us. But what science exists that tells us we are on the right path? In my mind, this is where it gets interesting, because in truth, we have absolutely no way of knowing that the path we have chosen will, in fact, maximize aggregate human well-being over time, compared to Earth number 2. In Platonic terms, we cannot say we are operating from justified, true belief, because we simply don't know. It's impossible to know. We can infer, we can project, we can estimate, we can create models, but we do not know. We can be fairly certain that our Earth will have fewer immediate deaths from the disease. That much is on our side of the ledger. But how many fewer will we have than Earth number 2? We have no way of knowing the answer. And how much suffering will we endure that Earth number 2 will not, because of what we have chosen to do? Again, we have no way of knowing. It may be that once this is over, the economy recovers quickly, and we go on with our lives as if none of this had ever happened. And it may also be the case that Earth number 2, despite not taking any deliberate action, suffers significant economic disruption of its own. But maybe we are, unknowingly, kicking off a horrific global depression, one that will include the broad collapse of our food production and distribution systems, resulting in hundreds of millions of people dying of starvation over the next 3 years. At the moment, there are two questions for which no one has a solid scientific answer. How many lives will be saved by our actions compared to doing nothing extraordinary and letting the virus run its course? How much will the global economy, and therefore the population of the world, suffer over time as a result of what we have chosen to do? In more simple terms, the question is, what do we get and what does it cost? We tell ourselves today that what we are doing is worth it. Maybe we're right, maybe we're wrong. Either way, we are guessing. And in that sense, my conclusion is that despite the conceit that we all seem to share, that we are operating under the guidance of science, in truth, we are operating from faith.